Secure transmission established. This is Watcher 2. Your efforts to destabilize the terror network are working better than expected, Cypher. Unfortunately, I don't have good news. We attempted to capture the Eagle in a raid on Tholiton. We found a base, but the man had moved on.
Is there a trail we can follow?
No. I'm still hopeful your efforts will draw him into the open. We've also been researching the so-called Eradicator devices. They're satellites, orbital strike weapons with enough firepower to level a city. Here's the bizarre thing. The terrorists aren't building the Eradicators, they're growing them.
Care to explain that?
The Eradicators are a combination of biological and mechanical components, organic batteries in a weaponized shell. The terrorists don't need factories anymore. They can grow Eradicators wherever there's room.
How do we handle all this?
We'll continue gathering information. We know what the Eradicators are, but not where or how they'll be used. You have your own mission. Destroy the cells and they'll lead us to the Eagle. Watcher 2 out. Stand by. I'm routing comm traffic through our mid-rim outposts. You're on a 6-second delay until I resynchronize the data stream. 3, 2, 1. Synced and secured. Tracking systems show you're in the castle lands of Alderaan. Enjoy the view, Cypher. I hear the mountains are lovely.
Hard to tell from here. There's not much to see in the spaceport.
I imagine not. Something to look forward to, then. Alderaan is governed by the wealthiest noble families in the galaxy. They've feuded for centuries, and are presently engaged in a full-scale war. You're here because Imperial intelligence believes that one of the noble houses, or a noble within one of the houses, is financing the Eagle's terror network.
What sort of financing are we talking about?
Money for weapons, transportation, bribes, anything the cells need. The Empire's resources are tied up supporting House Thul's efforts to claim the throne. But intelligence does have one asset, Vector Hillis. Vector was an Imperial ambassador to the nobles, but he was later repurposed. Now he's with the Killiks, Alderaan's native alien species.
You think this Vector knows something useful?
He's an expert on the political situation, but I should explain. When Vector approached the Killiks on a mission of diplomacy, they absorbed him into their collective intelligence. He's part of their hive mind. However, he continues to file activity reports, and we believe he's still loyal to the Empire, even if he's barely human anymore.
How's that possible?
Prolonged exposure to the Killiks induces physiological changes. He shares thoughts, feelings with them, but we don't know much more. We've requisitioned Vector from the diplomatic service and given him a need-to-know overview. You'll rendezvous at these coordinates. Use him to eliminate any noble or house funding the terrorists. Watcher 2 out.
Yes, this is the one, as the song schedule determined.
I can't wait to see how this goes.
We are Vector Hillis, Dawn Herald of the Ouroboros Nest. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Agent.
Cypher 9. I'm with Imperial Intelligence.
Of course. We trust our appearance doesn't disturb you. Our superiors in the diplomatic service find our joining disconcerting, but it was necessary. The joining allowed us to share thoughts and senses with the Nest, forge a bond between Empire and Killiks. The change is a small price.
Being transformed doesn't bother you?
It was unexpected, but now I'm part of the kind. I hear the song of the universe. It's a magnificent thing. Yes, as to your target, Imperial Intelligence provided us with a list of names, dates, and locations connected to your terrorist financier.
If you have something to say, say it.
We can't identify the financier himself, but your information shows he's visited House Organa, House Ceres, House Pantier, and House Cortez. Cortez is a vassal of the Empire's proxy, House Thul. If you show the Cortez Baron a copy of our findings, he might close in on your foe.
I appreciate the advice.
We must proceed to the Dance of Unlighting, but we'll remain here for the duration of your mission. We suggest you present yourself to Cortez as an ally of the Empire, show strength, and don't mention your intelligence connections.
Hold your guard. In the name of Baron Payar Cortez and the Cortez Barony, I demand you state your business or face expulsion.
How dare you speak to me this way? I am a Count of House Thule.
House Thule? Forgive me, Your Highness. It's sometimes difficult to recognize an adopted heir.
I knew nothing of Thule emissaries either, Captain. I am Baroness Che Cortes, Your Highness. Forgive our inhospitality, but my husband has no time for visitors.
I believe you'll want to speak to me. It's a matter of life and death.
Aren't they all, though? Some days ago, we lost a squad of battle droids patrolling the borders of Cortes lands. That squad was our first line of defense. We believe the squad's disappearance may presage an attack, yet not one of our allies has come to our aid.
What happened to the squad exactly?
We don't know what destroyed our droids. They went silent. Until we find out, we must prepare for the worst. If you wish to make amends, send your troops to determine the fate of our patrol. Perhaps that will make my Baron smile again.
Of course. I'll send a legion of my best men.
I'll leave you to Captain Perovius. I hope to see you under better circumstances.
Your Highness, if your men find the droids, tell them to activate the squad's homing beacon. Perhaps the data logs will help us.
This is Captain Perovius. A pleasure to hear from you, Your Highness. I'm impressed that you conducted the search personally. We're receiving the droid's logs now. You have my thanks.
I don't send others to do my dirty work. And I get the job done.
A rare thing for a noble of your position. At any rate, these logs are discouraging. The droid skirmish with the Killiks. Blasted bugs are on Cortes lands again.
I ran into a few more on my way here.
Figures as much. Rumor has it that the Killik nest is growing. Probably scouting for a new home. I'll make sure the Baron knows. Those things won't build a new hive in Cortes territory. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure the Killiks will get your message.
Indeed. In the meantime, I have a message for you. The Baroness is offering you an invitation to the estate. You may return at your leisure.
The Baron is expecting you. This way, please.
Our guest has arrived, my lord.
Baron Payar Cortes, Sword of the Castle Lands, I hereby present to you the Honorable Count Thule, emissary of his house. This man risked himself in the service of House Cortes, valiantly recovering our lost patrol and identifying the Killik threat. In appreciation of his noble deeds and out of respect for his accomplishments, I ask that you grant him recognition.
I so grant him recognition. I am Baron Payar Cortes, good sir. Welcome to my home.
The pleasure is mine, Baron.
Then we are both fortunate.
I hope I didn't give the wrong impression at the gates. I just take the security of my house very seriously.
One of few things she does, along with her gardens and her ack dogs.
You'll make me blush, my lord.
Tell me now, why do you seek my house? Is there a favor you would ask? An alliance you'd propose?
I need to identify a man. I think you might be able to assist.
I'll gladly help. Show me what you have. The dates in your files. Yes, we've had visitors at these times, but that's no surprise. I believe the guest you're looking for is Master Denry Ale. We've hosted him and his summits on a number of occasions.
Tell me where to find this man.
Ah, well, it may not be so easy as that. Denry Ale was once Lord Denry Ale, a powerful and respected man among the vassal houses. But some years ago, he abdicated his position.
He became a mediator dedicated to forging peace.
Strange you should ask about him now. For several weeks, Denry Ale has been missing. Whether off on some secret negotiation or something more regrettable, no one knows.
We can't let him disappear. It would be unfortunate.
I'll begin looking into Ale's whereabouts through formal and informal diplomatic channels. If I can find him for you, I will. You may also wish to investigate the matter yourself. I'm sure House Thule has friends who can assist.
You let me know if you find anything.
Of course. I'll send a message immediately. In the meantime, you're welcome to stay as a guest. House Cortez prides itself on its hospitality.
We'll have to dine together. You can meet the Ack dogs.
The Baron has spoken. This audience is at an end.
Is it me, or are there more bugs than last time?
Welcome back. Your aura reflects your attunement to the great song.
Vector, good to see you again, too.
Our observers saw you enter the Cortez estate. The Fingerlings were listening and heard mention of Denry Ale. We met Ale during our time as ambassador. With his wealth and talent, he could be your target.
The Baron claims not to know his whereabouts.
We might be able to help. Our nest has had many joiners over the years. Soldiers, children, nobles. We can search their memories and see what they know of Denry Ale.
Let's see what you come up with.
We remember Pabal Alder. When her speeder crashed, our foragers brought her to the hive. Our healers tended her. We became one. Her house, House Alder, an old house of scholars and antiquarians, granted Ale residence in honor of his work as a mediator. Ale kept records of his work in the Alder estate. If you can penetrate the estate's defenses, those records are yours.
Good work. I'll have those records in no time.
If we may be so bold. A warning. House Alder opposes the Empire, and the estate is always prepared for an Imperial attack, even a stealthy one. Be careful. Agent, it's good to see you. Yes, we apologize. The nest has been invigorated by star dancing. If you could smell the pheromones, you'd understand our restlessness.
This restlessness isn't going to be a problem.
There's nothing to be concerned about. The hive is growing, and we all benefit. We even have a gift for you. These orbs contain white membrosia, rare nectar produced by our givers. Pull back the wax and sip. You'll find it gives strength and healing.
Yummy. Mass-produce these and we could make a fortune.
Once the nest expands, we'll consider a proposal. In any case, how's the search for Denry Ale?
I found records in the older estate, but I'm not sure what to make of them.
This is perplexing. It looks like Ale funded the destruction of the Dominator and the assassination of Darth Jadus. But the rest is very odd. Have you shown this to Baron Pear?
I was hoping I wouldn't need to.
Baron Payar may see nuances we don't. We've mentioned our difficulty with human personalities. We'll be on alert, should you need anything else. The nest embraces our unity.
Welcome back. I'll let the Baron know you're here.
My dear, you shouldn't concern yourself with trifling details.
I am concerned. This house needs all I can give, not just my gardening skills.
Enough, we'll speak later. Your Highness, it's a pleasure to see you on such a chilly day. But if you're here about Denry Ale, I must disappoint. I've been gathering information, yet I cannot locate him with any certainty.
This data from House Alder might help.
These records, they are the pieces of a puzzle my own sources left incomplete. It appears that some weeks ago, Master Ale arranged a secret meeting with House Rist. That meeting is doubtless occurring as we speak.
I'll have to crash their party.
I'd caution you to leave this matter alone. House Rist is a stain upon the nobility. A house of slayers and poisoners. I suggest you wait for Denry Ale's return. A month, perhaps 2. Don't earn the Rist assassins' ire by interfering in their affairs.
It'll take more than dilettantes with knives to hurt me.
House Rist earned its place through cunning and murder. Its blades are not dull, and confronting them will do no good. Now, I must cut this discussion short. I have other matters to attend to. See to our guest, my lady. Make certain Cortes hospitality remains second to none.
I'm sorry about my husband. He's a busy man, and a brave one. Just not brave enough to confront the House Rist.
Care to explain that?
Everything the Baron said about Rist is true. They are a stain on society, and a foe of Cortes. We live in fear of their blades. But you found our lost patrol, stole Denry Ale's records.
You have no idea the things I can do.
I can imagine. The Baron won't listen to my ideas. But you could show him the meaning of bravery. You could show all the houses that defying Rist isn't hopeless. Find Denry Ale, fight the assassins, change things for all of us.
I can't refuse such a pretty face.
You're very kind. You know, it's a long journey. Join me in my chambers? We could get something to warm you before you go.
Cortes hospitality really is second to none.
And there's a lot more to see. And when we're through, you can leave for Rist and take my hopes with you.